Why, hello there. Interested in some Dare's Fault Western Army Western Knights? You came to the right place. This is an unboxing video for some more Fireforge stuff. We've got a couple of new Fireforge boxes. We've got some more Teutons. And we've got these guys. These are Western Knights. I think just Knights, generally.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I mean, Eastern Knights didn't look anything like Knights. No, these guys. And Western Knights just look like Knights. There's not a huge amount of difference. The big difference is the Teutons, who had really stupid, massive paper mache things on their heads. But we've already done an unboxing video on them, so I'll not bother talking about them. These are Western Knights who don't have the stupid thing stuck to their heads. So they're kind of normal knights. And it's from the Dare's Fault range, and that's what they look like painted up on the back. They look quite good, don't they?
Yeah.
Let's pop these open and have a look at what we've got. Right. Bases. They're yours. You like them, don't you?
Uh-huh.
And these are the knights. Okay, so this cavalry is exactly the same as all the other cavalry for knights that we've done. They're the same as the Swedish knights and the...
They're all the same.
Yeah, they're all the same horse.
Four-piece of horse.
Yeah. And they fit together okay, do they?
The tail's annoying, but that's about it.
Right, so I haven't assembled knights since we first started doing Northern Crusades, so...
Yes, that's 12 horses.
It's 12 horses, which is always nice. And are all these the same, or do you...
Yeah, they're all the same.
Right, so this is the actual knight sprue. So the heads are... Thank you very much. The heads are a lot... I'll just shift the camera a bit. Right. These are all the helmets. That is my favourite helmet. That's an awesome helmet. That's the helmet I gave to the Swedish king from the other box. So these are all the helmets. They're very westerny. That's kind of Uther Pendragon's helmet from the film Excalibur. And then we have... Oops. And then we have a group of helmets with open faceplate. So sort of Norman-esque. With this steel thing down the middle to stop your head getting smashed in. And then you've got these helmets, which are really cool. Just hold that for a sec. Which is basically that guy. That helmet there. Ow. Yes, it's a real helmet. That helmet there is the helmet you get. Let's put him the other way around. Is that helmet there? Although that one's upside down. So that's the helmet. Let's just get a better view of it. There you go. So those are the helmets, and they're pretty cool. I like the design of them. Well, they're what they really look like, but I like the way they've done them. They're quite good, and that's the original back there that this one's based on. So, clothing wise, we get 4 figures on a sprue. There's two guys leaning forwards and 2 guys kind of leaning backwards. You get a plethora of weapons. That's my all-time favourite weapon. I can't believe anyone actually used one of them.
If I'm honest, at the moment, everything is exactly the same apart from the helmets.
Is it? So it's all the same as the other figures?
All exactly. The weapons, everything.
Right. So other than that, other than the helmets, it's the same as the other ones. So I do love the morning star. Is that a morning star? That's a morning star. That would hurt if it hit you.
Yeah, wake me up in the morning.
Although you're more likely to injure yourself with it, I should guess.
I mean, you're heavily armoured, so really just like a ting ting on you.
Where do you hang it on your horse?
Over your shoulder, because you've got shoulder pads.
Oh, of course, I didn't even think of that. You're more used to dressing up as a knight than I am, then.
I mean, as a kid, I used to try and dress up as a knight from that big place I kept going to.
Yeah.
Massive fortress.
Yeah.
And cannon and everything. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But the helmet I bought could never fit my head.
Oh, that one?
No, I said no. I had one of the plastic helmets.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, yes, plastic sword. The plastic sword's the only thing that worked.
So, weapon-wise, the all-time, if it's a British army, then you're going to have one of them. A mace. British maces all the way. British use maces constantly. I dare say the French probably tried to use something like a mace, but they probably dropped it. They did go in for lances, primarily, the French, and then a sword, which is stupid, because every other country in the world considers a sword the least useful weapon on the battlefield.
I will admit, all the other knights I did on their own cavalry, I gave them all lances.
Yeah.
A shield.
Yeah, because, yeah.
Of course, I thought, knight, on horse is really, the weapon that he has is going to be on his side. Because that's when he falls off his horse and he has to wield that instead.
Yeah. Mostly lances would only be used for the initial combat, and then you drop the lance, draw your real weapon, which is going to be something like an axe or star or a ball and chain, and
it would be more swords and maces.
Yeah,
really.
But you wouldn't really use a sword. I can't imagine many knights actually use.
You can throw them.
Swords. You could throw them. What a sword is really used for when a knight is fighting a knight is as a mace. The back of the sword, you turn the sword round. And the reason swords have these big guards, it isn't to stop a sword sliding down, it's actually a mace. So swords, these types of swords are actually, the pommel is usually pointed to smash into an enemy's head or through his shoulder armour, the chainmail, or you use the edge bit of the hilt as a mace to hack into an enemy's helmet or his legs, whatever you can hit. So unlike films where people swing swords around, they didn't use swords like that. They used it as a mace, but it could be used as a sword as well as a defensive weapon, because swords were really used to defend, to block attacks, rather than to attack with. The swords were called arming swords, and that simply meant it's like a pistol. It's a sort of last resort weapon, because you have a proper weapon. For a start, you have a lance, one of these guys, then you have your painful ouch weapon, and then when that's broken or lost, you're now down to a sword. It's almost as bad as having a knife. It's pretty useless as an actual weapon.
And the last thing you need to mention from the sprues is this one. When I was doing the cavalry, you have two options.
Yeah.
So you can either have the heads with also the, what's that called? Throw, whatever.
The throw.
Yeah.
The throw over the horse.
You can have,
that's not barding. There's a name. It's a curtain. Something curtain.
Well, you can have that on it, or you can just have a normal head.
Bear, yes.
So, yeah, that's the only difference for that.
I presume that's to help the horse stop from sweating as much. I should guess these things would have been soaking wet most of the time. Horses sweat really badly, and so the horse would stink, and it would be soaking wet and carrying its own weight. Yeah, that's pretty disgusting, really. Anyway, then we have cloaks. These cloaks, I found when I did them that the cloaks pretty much fit on any figure apart from the long one. Is that right? Which fits on that guy.
No, all cloaks fit on everyone.
Can you fit on all of them?
Yep.
Right. Oh,
all of them get cloaks.
I remember when I did it, I think the cloak on this end was for that guy, whereas the other cloaks can be used between each one. Plus you got...
Well, when I did the other ones, I just mingled them all in and they were all work fine. So.
They look great, so I didn't know what you'd done with them, but yeah, so that's the cloaks. And cloaks are also useful if you're not using all the cloaks on these figures. Cloaks always come in handy for any type of figure. If we've got any spare cloaks, which we haven't at the moment, but if we end up with any spare cloaks, they will come in for our Frostgrave game, just to add to normal soldiers, just to give them cloaks. Yeah. So that's when we have spare cloaks. I figure half and half with cloaks with these Western Knights. So it looks pretty good. Generally the knights would wear basic colours of whatever household they belong to.
No, and they don't have...
What?
They don't have any like standard bearers and stuff.
No, they're not going to have a command, are they?
The other ones did.
That's true.
Yeah. They're the Teutons though, so I don't know if like Western Knights...
The Teutons have their own command, yeah.
I wonder if Western Knights are just like a mercenary
or maybe
group.
they're in another box. Or you could use them just as mercenary allied troops.
Yeah.
We use these guys as... something like these as German colonists who are allied to the Teutons and the Livonian Knights. sort of German mercenaries, basically, who came from Germany to support the Livonians, and they were paid to do it, mostly by the Archbishop at the time, who came to a sticky end. But yes, that's all then. And the shields are pretty much normal shieldy. Some of the shields have hands, so you'll just automatically stick them on, or other shields you can have separate, so that's okay. That's pretty cool. Anything more to add, or is that it?
That's Western Knights.
So that's everything you get in the box. It's from the Deus Vault range from Fireforge. Go get them. They're cool figures, and I'm not going to be assembling them. That's his job.
Yep.
So I'm sure you'll see some of them assembled sooner or later, and see them get absolutely battered by whatever I'm going to fight them with. Right, so that's it. Over to you.
If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below what you think of Western Knights. That's everything from me.
And everything from him. Goodbye.
See ya.